again, my name is Dian and I'm one of the speakers for this course, Speaking Before an Audience. In this video, I'm going to talk about visual aids and props. If you're watching this video now, I hope you have watched my previous video on tips on using visual aids in delivering your speech before an audience. Before we start, let us revisit the 4 tips that I shared in my previous video. 1. When you're using visual aids, remember to keep it short and simple. 2. To maintain eye contact with the audience. 3. Exaggerate to make it more lively. And 4. To rehearse with the visual aids. Practice, practice, practice. Visual aids take the focus off of the speaker for a while, and sometimes speakers do need this. It also breaks the monotony in a speech, giving the chance for the audience to use other than their listening skill and make a dull speech more lively. Remember to leave plenty of white space or backgrounds in your slides. For example, if you want to project a table or figures in your visual aid, be it a slides or flip chart, only put the row or columns or charts that you plan to discuss in your speech. Do not put too much data in one slide or in one presentation, because it will only confuse the audience. You need to explain each row, each columns or axis in your figure or table, and leave the detail or comprehensive data in your written paper or in a handout that you give to your audience. Another rule of thumb is to allow 30 seconds to 1 minute for each slide. And if you have technical terms in a speech, be sure that you define each term as you introduce them. If you have graph, for example, make sure all the labels are correct, and if you use legends, make sure that you define or you explain each labels or legends in your graphs or figures, and make sure the headings are appropriate. Also, you need to be certain that your data and results support your conclusion. If you use pointers like this, don't play with your pointers and the red dot is flying all over your slide. Use them briefly to point at the data that you want to highlight to your audience and move it away from your screen before you continue with your speech. If you need to turn to the screen to show or point at certain data in your figures or table, turn or move away from your audience long enough for you to point and show the data and return your focus to your audience. Don't let your data speak for themselves. Remember to highlight, to explain, to discuss everything that is shown in your screen. I'm sure everyone have experience with speakers who have everything that he is telling or he is delivering on his slides. Do not cram your slides with words. Remember our tip number 1 to KISS, keep it short and simple, to have only 3 to 4 points on the screen at one time. However, do not prepare too many slides for the time you are allotted to speak. Use appropriate headings and do not use all capital letters either in headings or in your text. Use bullet form use bullet points, and if you have abbreviation, make sure you define them. Too much abbreviations is also not wanted. And always remember that your focus should be your audience. Do not turn your back and read from the slide. Do not talk to the screen, but talk to your audience instead. The visual aids only helps or aid you in delivering your speech. The fourth tip that I shared earlier is to rehearse with the visual aids. This is important so that you do not rush through your presentation or playing with your slides, so that you can have a proper pace whenever you deliver your speech with slides or any other visual aids. If you're using props in your presentation or in your speech, make sure that when you hold your props, it is not obstructing you from your audience, and the props is not too big nor too small. Imagine again that you are speaking in front of a camera and you are in the camera frame. So your prop should be within the camera frame. And when you talk with your props, it should be held long enough for the audience to grasp what is the relation between your speech and the props. When you're done with your prop, put it away so that the audience can focus to you again. So when you use visual aids or props, put your shoes in the audience shoes. Try to look at your slides from the back of your room and practice, practice, practice.